Okay, solution to the double slit. You've proved that there's a medium and that the action you're observing is taking place within a medium. Because when you put action into, take any action affecting light, you see a reaction in the medium. And so waves. So that's the first part. And then when you have a single photon, it's the same. You're just acting in a medium. So of course you see a wave pattern, so that the single photon madness of the Copenhagen interpretation is understood as it's a medium. Now what is that medium? It's the light space between the two lights. And that the cavitation of the particle, take the single photon fired and just hold it stationary within the experiment and remove all the rest of the experiment, and there's your single photon in a medium of light. The moment of consciousness that we experience is a flash of bright white light that we emit, proven by our eyeballs being the wrong way around. All eyes are constructed the wrong way round, with the photoreceptors on the wrong side of the eye, except the octopus, proving the octopus is an interdimensional being, by the way. So we emit, the moment of consciousness is an instant, rigid body instant, clamping action. When that occurs, there is a reaction and there's a flash of bright white light. It has no momentum of its own, the light, but there is a sound and a temperature motion duration in which that light exists. And that's our moment of consciousness. And that whether it's cavitation, we created additional cavitation, we can see the reflection of the bright white light in the cavitation. The reflection will have the properties, but geometric properties of what the existence itself and whatever we've put into it. So we can change its colour, its shape, that stuff. But the model is, so when you're doing the double slit experiment, you've got to draw a dome over the top of the experiment, because the experiment is taking place within an environment, isn't it? The laboratory where the physicists are enacting their madness is in an environment. So draw a dome over the top. And so the light exists as an entity called the ether, as we've always known. So we just proved that it exists in the first part. In the second part, where you then monitor the particle, you're measuring inside. So in my model, where I've got Planck's constant as a I can see Planck's constant as a sphere. The outside of it is existing in real seconds. There's short duration. The inside is the time moves backwards. The overall resultant is a tiny motion forwards in clockwise, but the motion inside is anti-clockwise, the 4-2 twist. And so when you put the monitor on it, that's what you're observing, the action from the inside. You're seeing the particle. So there's no motion. From laser to screen, there is no motion. There is Newtonian action that we have placed there. If we've enacted something onto anything, into reality, it's Newtonian, because we're Newtonian, we're a cavitation. Remember, we're the emitters of the light in the first place. And so that's the solution to the double slit, is that we are the light. We emit the light. And that in the Earth-based universe, Earth-centered universe model of force-based, the centroid of bending at the center of the planet expressed as a center of bending out here, three-dimensional, four-dimensional bending at the center, three-dimensional out here, twisting, has a duration of existence, a duration of awareness. And so that the light is aware of itself in the echo of its space that's created by the sound and the temperature motion increase. And that's our pulse, our heartbeats. So the reason we're alive and that our body temperatures are so crucial is that we are the temperature regulators of the universe. We are human beings. Because we exist, our consciousness exists at the peak of the sphere of consciousness, which has a measurable thickness of light. We exist at the top, but because we exist at the top, we're so powerful, we can easily fall to the base. We're binary, we're top or bottom. And that's our heartbeats are that recursive system going backwards, so that the motion of the ECG is backwards, bum, 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 bum. And then you see the big beat, little beat is the right way around, and then there's an elastic response trying to catch up, and one creates the other. It's recursive. It's our heartbeats. So the pulse, our pulse, is the pulse of the rotation of the universe. Well, we're at the centre, as proven by the double slit experiment. Happy? Welcome to the future. Follow the Rebel King.